Neslihan Hanım'a teşekkür ederiz. Tabii ki makalenin sahibi Karl Enz'e de teşekkür ediyoruz. Bize göndermiş olduğu bu kıymetli bilgiler ışığında. Evliyâ-i tahte kubabi la ya'rifuhum ehad. Benim dostlarım kubbemin altındadır. Onu benden başkası bilemez. Hadisi, kutsisi üzerine yapılmış olan güzel yorumlar. Biz tekrar teşekkür ediyoruz. Şimdi iki konuşmacımız var. İki konuşmacımız da bazı ortak özelliklere sahip. Bir kere ikisi de Amerika Birleşik Devletleri'nden. İki konuşmacımızın bir diğer ortak özellikleri de broşürde de yazıldığı gibi iki konuşmacımız da aynı zamanda Mevlevi Şeyhi olarak da yazılı kimseler. Böyle yazılmış. Birinci konuşmacımıza söz veriyorum. Doktor İbrahim Gamard beyefendi. Kuzey Kaliforniya'dan kendileri teşrif ettiler ve bize tebliğlerini sunacaklar.
Esselamun aleyküm. I'm very grateful to have been invited here. Alhamdulillah, ashshukrulillah, bismillah. Sultan Veled, Qaddasallahu Sirruhu, was faithful to the example of his father's devotion to Shamsi Tabrizi in following the Sufi path of devotion to the spiritual guide or master, murshid, sheikh, as a means to attaining pure devotion to God alone. In Sufism, this is called the path of annihilation of separate selfhood in the spiritual presence of the master, fana fi sheikh, as a means to annihilation of separate selfhood in the presence of God, fana fillah. His father, Mevlana Jalaluddin, had so effaced himself through love of Shamsi Tabrizi that he composed thousands of poems in which he saw his spiritual guide everywhere, especially in all things beautiful. Poems that often ended not with his own name, as was the classical tradition for ghazal poems, but with the name of his spiritual master instead. A good example of this is the story of the man who knocked on the door. In the Mesnevi, the story begins, someone came and knocked on the door of a friend. Anyaki amadere yari bizad. So he says a friend, a yar. But Sultan Veled composed a version of the same story in his Mesnevi called Ibtida Namah that gives different details, which suggests that this was a Sufi story already told for some time and not a story originated by Mevlana. In his version, Sultan Veled explicitly uses the Sufi terms disciple, murid, and master, sheikh. And here is the translation. In explanation of the uttering of admonition and mystical insight of Sultan Veled in regard to his spiritual master, Sheikh Salahuddin, may God magnify his memory, and is telling Veled, I want you to no longer remain, so that I may utter admonition and mystical insight on your behalf. For in the world of unity, two-ness cannot be contained, and the bringing forth of a parable. And this is where the poetry begins. So that I may know truly that you are mine, you are the lover, and you are beyond us and me. You are not in the midst, only I am. There are never two in this containment. Haven't you heard of the story of the spiritual master, the sheikh, about the skill, knowledge, and ability of that master, who, when the spiritual disciple, murid, came to his door and knocked on the door, he said, who is it? Speak. The disciple said to him, it's me, your slave, O king. The master said, go from my door. he did not offer him the entranceway. After that helpless one departed for a time, he left and was wandering in separation for a year. When he had spent a year in travel, the following year, he arrived back and knocked on the door. Again, the master asked him, "Who is it?" He said, "It is me." The master replied, "I am not opening the door to you." For years, he was deprived of the company of his sheikh. He became cooked, and the ultimate action became known to him. He came back when he had become bent over from suffering separation. He knocked on the door. The master said, "Who is it?" The disciple said, "You." The master said in reply, "Since it is me, why am I knocking the door ring from the outside?" He opened the door to him and said, "Come in, since your you-ness has gone from you, O clear-seeing one. Since you are not you, only I am, so my home is your possession, O wise one. The world of unity is our dwelling place. Two cannot be contained within our heart. Therefore come in, O you who have become me for me. Since you are a rose, come into this rose garden. Among the number of roses, where is two-ness? Since you have become a rose, the thorn of you-ness no longer remains." And these are the last two baits. And this is how I sing it. Pas beyai ke man shudi berman chun gulian dara darin gulshan dar adat hay gul kujadui chun shudi gul naman ad khare tui. Now this story may also be interpreted on the level of annihilation of self in the presence of God, fanafillah. The disciple is then the mystic worshiper who knocks on the door or the gate of the divine court. The worshiper who answers, "It is you, O God, because only you are, and there is no partner, la sharika lah, no companion or any other being in your absolute unity. There is only you. There is nothing divine except you. All glory be to you alone. La ilaha illa anta, subhanak." As the co-translator of the nearly 2,000 quatrains attributed to Mevlana Rumi, it was natural for this presenter to take an interest in Sultan Veled's quatrains, Rubaiyat, Rubai there. There are 455 quatrains in Sultan Veled's Divan, most of which express spiritual love for the human beloved, meaning the dervish disciple's spiritual love for his Sufi guide. Of course, since Persian poetry is often ambiguous in regard to whom is addressed, many of these quatrains may also be read as addressed to God. I read through all of the quatrains and I selected 19 of Sultan Veled's best quatrains in praise of the human beloved. Now, this quatrain has the rhyme on a many, kan a many, derman a many, John a many. And we are familiar with this rhyme, on a many, from two well-known verses in a ghazal by Mevlana Rumi, verses that are sung during the fourth section, Dordunju Salam, of most of the musical compositions for the Mawlawi Sema, or whirling prayer ceremony. Sultan e mani, wan dar dilojan, iman e mani, dar man bedami, man zinda shavad, yak John chebawad, said John e mani. And we have this in the Mevlevi Ayin Leri, for example, in the Bayati Ayin Ler, the Bayati Ayini Sharif. Sultan ne mani. And in the Nehavand, Nehaven, Ayini Sharif. Sultan, Sultan, Sultan. I can't remember it right now. And so this is the translation. You are the one who is the light of heart, soul, and body. You are also the water of everlasting life, the rose garden and meadow. You cast the fire of love for the rose into the heart of the nightingale, so that you make 1,001 melodies from his voice. And this is how I sing the quatrains. Man zinde azanem sanama kane mani bi darogamam zanke tu dermane mani gardur shawi zaman bemiram bishak zira ke darin qalib tanjane mani. In suffering pain, I always see the remedy. And in suffering wrath and injustice, I see kindness and faithfulness. On the surface of the earth and below the roof of the heavens, in everything I view, I see only you. My eyes have not seen a beloved with your beauty, nor a heart possessor like you among heart seizers. There is never a rose without a thorn in the world, yet you are that red rose which does not have a thorn. Ba khubiye tu nadi cheshmem yari ne chun to meyane dilberan dildari bikhar nabashad be jahan hich guli to an gule surkhi ke nadari khawri. You are the one who has become the prayer direction, the qibla for my heart and soul. You are the prayer direction for the rose garden like the spring season. O you who are in spirit the shadow of the beneficence of God. Whatever direction you face, I make it my prayer direction. Theme of separation from the beloved. O beautiful moon, do not kill me with the sword of separation, and do not destroy the foundation of my heart with your anger. O my soul, my fear is of your separation, not of death. Show that face of yours out of kindness, and then take my soul. I am such that because of love I am in the midst of fire. I burn like incense, and I wail like the reed flute. By him I have a heart and a soul for this purpose, so that I may deliver them the next time when I see you. Sufis and dervishes. The pure Sufi is like the moon in the circling sky. He is like the Messiah, always above the circling sky. He flies above earth and heaven. And from his soul and heart, his slave and servant, the circling sky. The men of God are made to run toward God. Day and night, year and month, they are made to seek him. They are upon the earth and also on top of the seventh heaven. Although a single drop in appearance, they are in reality 200 oceans. Although you were prior to existence, O great Sheikh, you went to the Kaaba and you became a great Sheikh. You drank at the tavern of divine love, and you became drunk and ecstatically free from self, O great Sheikh. The dervish is passing beyond the body and the soul, and the dervish is superior to the earth and the heavens. God's intended aim was not concerning the worldly creation. Rather, God's intended aim concerning this world is the dervish. Spiritual states. I wandered in the world of love from one direction to another direction, and I wandered like flowing water from stream to stream, without any headache or hardship of the road of separation. I revolved around him in the abode of union. Do not think that my speech is from me, since I am non-existent. For it is from God, continual in every moment, that I am with speech. God is eternal, and I am annihilated in him. But do not reckon me as newly appearing, since I am an ancient light. Although I am going among the people by means of the body, I am living because of love. I am not living because of the soul. I am living because of love. I am not living because of the soul. Know that my body is like a millstone, revolving by means of the flowing water of God's love. My drunkenness is not one that is from ordinary wine. It is from a wine beyond any path and road. There are amazing spiritual states for me in the meeting place of the hearts, for whatever I seek in it is already available. Wine is not necessary for our drunkenness, nor the joy of harp or viol in our gatherings. Without musician, attractive companion, cup, or wine, we are fallen drunk and wrecked every night and morning. Now the last four quatrains that I'm reading somehow were added to the earliest manuscripts of Mevlana's Divan-i-Kabir. Know that my beloved is hidden from everyone, and know that he is beyond the earth and the heavens. Know that he is visible like the moon within my chest, and know that he is mingled like the soul within my body. The heart is a garden of God with hidden trees. It appears in 100 modes, but is itself always the same. It is an ocean, all-encompassing, limitless and endless, with hundreds of waves from it surging within the heart and the soul. Upon any ground where I bow my head, the object of my prostration is him. In any striving that I make, the object of worship is him. Mention of the rose and the nightingale, the mystical concert and the beloved. All of these to me in this world and the next. Of all these, the entire object is him. Bar her khaki ke sarne ham masjudust, dar her jahdi ke mikonam ma'budust. Zikre gulo bulbul o sama shahid, zin jumle mera dar du jahan maqsudust. This quatrain also occurs in Sultan Veled's Ma'arif. It seems fitting to end with some inspiring verses from Sultan Veled's Masnavi, the Ibtida Nameh, about becoming a true dervish lover who is annihilated of separate selfhood. That world is illumination, delight, and permanence, and this world is darkness, affliction, and transience. The result of this is pass away from selfhood so that you may gaze upon God continually. Become purified from pride and from self-existence so that ecstatic drunkenness comes to you without need of goblet and wine. Ascend like Jesus upon the heavens without needing the donkey of the body, and pass beyond Moses. Pak sho as guru as hasti, ta ke bi jamo me rasad masti, bi kharetan baray chun Isa bar falak ha o begzar az Musa. Teşekkür ederim.